And in all these conversations, the palace was involved. In fact, because Obayawa started it, his brother, Professor Gregory Akintola, was the one that was nominated by the palace to be part of this discussion. So there was nothing that was done in secret. There was collaboration. Until I then went to Lisbon in the Netherlands in 2018.
$420 million, is it dollar or something like that, that the Germans, when they were negotiating for this artifact in Cologne and in Berlin, they asked them a question, one of the chiefs asked them a question and said, ever since this artifact has been with you guys, you have been making money with it, what are you going to give those that the proper owners of it? They vowed that they were going to bring back the artifact and support the artifact with $420,000. Sir, I want to hear from you so that I can clear my head. I'll be able to talk with my people there. That is actually what happened, sir. That is it. Who actually owns this artifact, number one? And this money they are quoting, is it actually a fact?
Our chairman. Okay. Let me stand up. You know, we all have to be careful. They think that when people talk, they forget that people are intelligent and people have brains. Sometimes some of our brothers and sisters, when they talk, you look at them and you shake your head and you're sorry for them.
Your phone, please.
All of you may not know, but many of you know that in about more than 100 years ago, in 1897, when the British was trying to gather territories, they had subjugated all the other tribes in Nigeria, except the Benin Kingdom. When they could not subjugate the Benin Kingdom, in 1897, they decided to invade the Benin Kingdom. And they came under the pretext that they killed one Captain Phillips, and they burned down the whole empire, Benin City in particular. They came in for almost 2 weeks, they were bombing the place. Everybody ran away to the villages. They went round the entire city. From house to house, they were collecting different things they saw. All our emblems, what we now call artifacts. Each family in Benin, for instance, everybody has a gure, abi?
Yes.
Some of them ivory, some of them. If you go to the collections, you have almost 40 or 50 gures in that collection. These people gathered it. Plus all these beautiful bronze works from different families and the palace. They took all of those things, they took it to Europe to sell, to get money to pay for what they call the cost of the war. You know, when you have a war like this, they occupy you, they take things, you know, and they try and recover the cost of the war. That is how all these things they call artifacts left our land and went to Europe. And those officers that came started selling them in the art markets. When some of the Europeans saw it, they said, which kind of people could have created this type of works? This fine bronze, fine ivory, different, intricate, very detailed. You know our people, you know how we work. So this is the things they call artifacts that are all over the world. Almost 5,000 pieces in different. So many of these collectors bought them to decorate their homes, and then many of them, they give them to their museums. So in the last 100 years, these works are now in different museums all over the world. The British Museum has the largest collection, more than 1,000 pieces of things they took from Benin. Only a fraction is being displayed, the rest is in storage. Because the Germans were the biggest art dealers at that time, you had a lot of them in Germany, in different museums in Germany. About 40 years, since independence, we've been trying return these things. Some of them are very significant religious importance. In fact, the British in the 50s had to return one of the regalias of Yoba Benin that was used for the coronation, I think, of Obaseki or so. They've been returning some of these, but many of them either have been sold over and over again and are in different hands. So there's been this call that they should return these things that they were stolen. It doesn't belong to them. This is the origin of these artifacts. Our father, Ediawa, was one of the people at the forefront And to say, look, this thing does not belong to you. Return them. First, acknowledge that they are our own. We own them. We can ask you to keep some if you want, because some of them are, they now serve as ambassadors. Anywhere you go, you look at this, they are Benin brothers. So, but you have to acknowledge that they are our own. So they have been having this discussion for the last 40 or more years, until I became governor of Edo State. And when I became governor, one of our policies, I said, we use culture, because nobody has our kind of culture as part of our development agenda. When people come into politics and into government, they say, we will build roads, we will do education, we will do health. We say, yeah, we will do all of those. But in addition, we will focus on our culture. We will use our culture to attract people to our land. So one of the things I did was to say, okay, this discussion you have been having about the returns, how do we follow up? I noticed that Edo State government was not involved. So they were not making as much progress. So I said, okay, Edo State government want to be involved in this discussion. Because federal government, they are concerned about so many other places. It is we that should be concerned about our own. So we joined them. So it was the federal government, Edo State government, and the palace. And we started attending those meetings. Paying for us, we went to several times. In fact, this week I saw one of the speeches I made in the British Museum, which I will make public this week. To say, return these items, and we would like them to come back to Benin. In some of these meetings, when I said, okay, why don't you want to return them? These people now, they say, these items, they are now global public goods. Some of them are very fragile. And you see the way we are keeping them here. We're not sure that if we give them to you, you can manage them and keep them the way. There are all sorts of excuses. I then said, okay, you know what? Let us cooperate. The state government will work with you and the national government. You will help us to build facilities in Edo, which are in the same standard as what you have here. So that at least we can keep. I said, because our children, they don't know about these things anymore. Some of them are doing things, but they don't know where it comes from. So we need to make this cultural linkage. So we started this discussion. And in all these conversations, the palace was involved. In fact, because Obayawa started it, his brother, Professor Gregory Akento, was the one that was nominated by the palace to be part of this discussion. So there was nothing that was done in secret. There was collaboration. Until I then went to Lisbon in the Netherlands in 2018. I said, look, tell me, what do we need to do to bring these things home? Okay? The state government is now prepared to work with you at the federal government. So, say, is it museum or historic facility? Come and work with us. I invited all of them to Benin. So they all came in 2019, agreed, looked at it. I said, you people are the ones who understand this thing, advise us, work with us. I went, I told them this is what is going on. We all agreed. I said, the best way is, when it comes to things like art and co, it is not for profits. You don't make money out of it. In fact, you keep spending money to build museum, to maintain museum. It's not a profitable thing. It's not a profitable position. So I said, okay, we will build this museum. Come and advise us. By the way, I don't want to come to Europe again to have this meeting. All of you come to Benin. 2019, all of them came to Benin. This Benin Dialogue Group. It's okay. This is what we want to do. How can you help? That was when they gave us different ideas. The Germans were quite, progressive about it because they hold a lot, and they were having problems in Namibia about what they have done in the colonial times. 2020, there was COVID. We couldn't do much. By 2021, you people remember this George Floyd's matter, Black Lives Matter. That one they put pressure on most of these people. If Black Lives Matter, the things you stole from us, give them back to us. So that was part of the conversations. Thank God we had started talking about the issue of museum, how to, if you send these things, we want to assure you that we have the capacity to also be able to manage them the way you are managing them. Well, we then did a survey with them. I found out there were over 5,300 pieces. They actually did a work called Digital Benin. You can Google it. And we made sure that they took us to document everything that we own that was taken out. It's okay, but not all can come. Let's start having the discussions. Part of this discussion at that time, they said, okay, when they return it, who will they return it to? And my own position is that when you took these things out, when you stole them, where did you still take them from? You took them from Benin. So they should come back to Benin. Yes, when you took stole these items, the country Nigeria did not exist. Abi?
Yes.
Okay, but there's a successor in title to the Benin Kingdom, which is Nigeria. So they should first come to that, because most of these assets, the Berlin Museum, British Museum, are owned by government. So government cannot take property from one government and go and give it to another individual. It has to be government to government. Is that not? Yes, that's what we negotiated. So all these things they are saying are all lies. They are all lies. There was no issue, at no point did they talk about money. It was we sitting down and say, okay, come and work with us. British Museum, Berlin Museum, people give you money to keep your own museum. Help us, work with us, and let some of these people also come and help us build what we want to build in Edo. That was the discussion we had. The palace agreed. The Edo State government, the federal agreed to set up a trust. And I can tell you, because it's a trust, you know, I mean, you can go and Google a trust. It's not owned by anybody. It's a non-charitable, what do you call it? Charitable trust. This is something you are holding in trust for the people, not for any individual. You don't make money out of it. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
So that is what we set up. Say, okay, everybody, federal government, give us a representative. Then give representative, palace, give representative. You that will help us, you people, give us representative to set up this trust. Which we did. They set up nominees. I nominated, I think, Attorney General. The federal government nominated somebody from museum. Then I just suggested, I said, okay, from the palace, it's good to nominate somebody who's young and very. Why not nominate the Crown Prince? So I should give them a letter. I said, okay, here's the letter. Took it to the father, and the father approved. The Crown Prince became a trustee of that trust. Okay? Then we went to Germany, and the Germans said, oh, they are going to return these things, they will support us. That is where the trouble started. Oh, the palace said they didn't want to be part of the trust again. I said, okay, no problem, we'll continue. Found somebody who is interested in conservation. They've been doing other things. So they will support and help us with this project. And that is how this whole thing started. This whole issue of museum, conservatory, bringing these things back. It's just a collaboration. Until after a while, I don't know what happened. So all this talk about money, it's all a lie. It is a lie. There's no discussion about we didn't even know how much will come. No. The people were working. You are here. You know that you cannot go to any institution of government or anybody with a proposal and they will just give money like that. Is that how it happens?
No, sir.
No, sir. You know how it is. They'll be convinced. You have to convince them what it is. They have to see transparency. That the money they will give you will actually be used for what it will be done for. So maybe that is where all the problems started. He said, no, I'm not going to lend my name as a government to go and get money that I cannot explain how we spent it. That is where all this fight. So anything anybody is saying today is a lie. Tell them I said, I have all the documents. If anybody has any other document, let them present it. When all these problems started, and after a while, who said, oh, no, he doesn't want to be part of that. He wants his own museum. I said, no problem, sir. Look outside opposite the palace, acquired all that land opposite the palace that he would rather have this. I said, no problem. In fact, we can actually have what you call a royal collection. We will support it. As government, my business is not to take money for education to come and build a museum. I have to collaborate with people who say they have the money, give them the support, is it not? Yes, to do it. Same thing, if you say you want to build a royal museum, we say we will support also. If you set up a committee of eminent Nigerians, if you go online, you will see all their names, big people. I said, okay, I'm sure these people will be able to help raise money. We as state will also support. Till tomorrow, I have not seen one letter from that Royal Museum. I have not seen design from Royal Museum. But in our planning, we planned for that area. So I don't know where all of this is coming from. I will put it in the budget. We have money for culture in the budget every year. And the whole idea is, if you have museums in Edo, when people are coming, they will have something to come and see. They will spend money, right? For us as government, our own is to facilitate. Government, Obaseki does not have any business going to build museum. I don't know how to manage museum. Federal government has a museum in there. We sometimes, when they ask for help, we support them. Is it not? Yes, sir. So all this confusion about saying, no. As far as I'm concerned, some people are just being mischievous. You know what I suspect? Because when we started these conversations in the beginning, some of these people were saying, oh, who will it go to and all of that. They did not want to return. And I'm sure that is where they started sowing all this, you know how they are. This discord everywhere. And unfortunately, we didn't realize it. So there should be no argument. What I think is people stole our artifacts, they should bring it back. And we should be able to create an environment where our children, the grandchildren can come and see, where other outsiders can also come and see. And in so doing, money will come to our state. You know, people will be able to build tourism. When they come, they will stay in hotels, they will hire cars, they will enter restaurants. Is that what? Yes, sir. That is what this is all about. So when people are fighting and talking like this, always ask them, what is the underlying reason? There's more to this. It is not the lies that they are perpetrating. Is that clear? Yes, sir. I hope I have answered your question.
Thank you very much, Imatawa. Thank you very much, our President, Mr. Orobusa, for that brilliant question. Your Excellency, you were live yesterday to break these whole issues down. And because of the time limit here, I will advise our people to go to YouTube. We have over 1 hour 45. I said it to you. We have over 1 hour 45 minutes of breakdown. Trust me, we have less than 40 minutes to leave this premises, and I think we should go off. Yeah, so our leader said we should play music. Yes, so we are going to take 2 more questions, and Oga will just answer in 5 minutes, so we can enjoy ourselves, take pictures, and also have a private interaction with His Excellency. Just two, please. We need technical road.
No, I won't answer. Let people in the audience, please. If I did your road, can you hands up? Oh yeah, if I did your road, just hands up and measure it so that you're not hearing from me.
Street light.
Uber Road. My father's street, Fotobewase, off Zabayo.
Okay,
so there's guy 4. Yeah.
You also tagged my streets in Ababa.
Well, you know, in 8 years, I cleared over 1,000 kilometers of road across the entire state, from scratch to finish. If you are going to Oriomo today, for many years that road was not done. If you look at Ekanwa Road, you know, people could not, if you know the population in that axis, it was because Morocco and Spain, is it not?
Yes.
Textile Mill Road, these are major arteries. If you go from you want to go from Ukbowo now to Ekanwa Road, I've done a whole new stretch, 19th Street, yes. All of that, you know. So, but you see, government is beyond roads. Do you understand? When we train our young ones, we give them good quality education, they will build more roads that will last. So it's about first developing the human capacity. We say roads that what does it take to build a road? Nothing. You know, is it not to award contract to a contractor? Is it not? Is it more than that? If you don't chop the money using the road. So let's elevate the discussion, you know, from that level and talk about how we can improve the quality of our people. So many more people like you, those ones, can be here and speak the way you have just spoken. That is what development is about. We should lift development from the level of that Agbero level. You know the kind of people, no, that's not where we are. We are beyond that. To build road is nothing. Is that clear? Yeah. If you're not a thief, if you know, if you're not stealing money, then you can build much more roads than we're doing now. We should focus a lot more on human capacity development and building more infrastructure for development today. I built roads, but what I built, which nobody has built in Nigeria, is fiber optic networks. I built over 2,500 kilometers of fiber networks across Edo State. Show me one state that has done that. If we build on that, we built what's it called? A data center. We're the only state government that ever built a data center. That's what the world is. That's where the world is today. We should not. We were an empire. We developed. We're speaking at the same time as Europe 500 years ago. We had street lights, we built roads in Benin how many years ago? So we cannot be talking about. Let us not reduce ourselves to the level of the people, like those Agberos. Let us elevate the conversation beyond and above where those people want it to be. Is that clear? Please, when they go there, don't go low with them. Let us go high where we should be.
Yes. 1 minute.
Thank you. My brother, I don't know how long you've been to Benin. Go to Iriri Road that leads to Obage now. If not for that road, you would have been passing Saple Road. That is a good network. Iriri land now is selling for billions. If you want to go to Iriri now, before you buy a land in Iriri, Obage and all those areas, you talk about, if you don't have billions, you talk about Ohoromi and the rest. He did that road in the stand. Thank you very much.
You say, please, Edo Union, can we do this in 60 seconds, please?
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be with you all today. I want to use this opportunity to announce to you all that we, the Edo Union, will be having our end of year party on the 27th of December this year. So this is the flyer. I want to encourage everybody present here to be part of that occasion. It's going to be choke. It's going to be fun fair. There's going to be a lot of activities on that day. And I promise you, we'll go back home with something very, very, very entertaining. So here's the flyer. I'm going to be sharing around. Somebody will help me share it around to everybody here. You are all cordially invited. Thank you very much. And also, before I conclude, I want to also beg our former governor. We are through Obaseki, as I said before. And, we want you to also be part of us. If you can, we're very pleased. So this is the flyer. Thank you so much, sir. I'm very grateful.
We are inviting you. We need your support, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay, DJ, please, music for another 20 minutes. Please, if you want to have, yes. No, we have less than 20 minutes to leave here. Yes, yeah. Please, DJ, music. Please, if you want to take a photograph with His Excellency, please, let's do that in another 20 minutes. Please, let's do this orderly. You want to have photograph with the best governor ever, a matter. Please, let's do that within the next 20 minutes.